it on. And then it's just handles at the front. Turn that up. And that's bent the metal to whatever angle I want it to bend it at. So perfect line bend across that, which you'd struggle to do by hand, or you could use maybe a vice or hammers, but there'd be a lot of banging around and you wouldn't get it that accurate. So it's a really good device if you just want to be able to fold metal sheet. So big handle, yellow, grip on the end, you put your metal in and goggles on for this, push it down, and what it does is it just literally notches these little holes out at different lengths or whatever you want. Really very simple, but to get something cut out like that on a piece of metal would be really difficult otherwise. And it doesn't take any strength. It's all in the lever itself. So you can punch a whole hole in, or I think you can, if you wanted, you could go part way in and then you'd end up with, get it out. You'd end up with a little bit sticking out there that's the bend, which you can then manipulate with pliers, tools.
Cuts are quite nice.
Yeah, tiny little offcuts on the floor for it. So that's a little notcher. It can be very useful, you can do all sorts with that, but it's a good way for fixing things together, or taking bits out and then taking it to welding. So the slip roll, 3 rollers, works. The 2 front ones pull your metal through, and the back one puts a bend in it, so you'll make it curve. So with this, you have to open these up, and there's handles at both sides. So you try to keep them the same when you're gripping your metal, and it will take sheets this big. And then once you've got it in, close those off so it just nips tight on the metal. That way you'll be able to turn the handle and run it through the slip roll. Now to increase the curvature of it, you turn that and it raises that bar up into the air, and the tighter you get that, the tighter the curvature is going to be on your metal. If you need a full circle on this and you've already got this thing on there and we can't get it off because it's made a circle, give one of us a shout and we'll help you. This bottom bar pulls out and lifts out to give you the ability to get it. But you should, for most of the things that you're doing, be able to wheel it through or wind it using the mechanism itself. So with these you can notch, bend, fold, and also we can cut. This is a guillotine, so this is a quick and easy way of cutting metal, particularly useful for any printmakers that might be doing etchings and you want plates at given sizes. You'll use this. Always have a block of wood against this side, square piece of wood, just because the blade from there to there over years and years of use isn't quite so sharp, so we've brought it in a little bit so you'll get a good cut. Thing to note with this is when you're doing it, make sure other people aren't stood around with their feet underneath this, because we're going to be stamping to the floor on this one. So slide that through there, you can see the line down there where you're going to cut, so you can actually look down it, and if you've got to measure something particular when you're drawing a line on it, get a ruler, measure it, and scratch it with a nail or something like that, rather than putting a pencil line on. Because when you look down, you can see it with the light hitting the nail scratch, and it stands out more. And it's then just like a normal guillotine, you line it up with the edge. First part of this stamping locks the metal in place with a yellow frame at the front so it doesn't move, and then it's stamp on there and that cuts through it. Obviously that's harder if the sheets of metal is, you know, 4 foot wide, because you've got to have much stronger legs, and there are stamping on both sides of this, which, you know, is fine to do. If you're stamping here and your metal's over there, you'll need more force because you're losing force all the time along. The only reason you might use this side, if you've got a big sheet of metal and it's overhanging where that is and you can't get your leg in, then you're best not using that side.
So there's not a lot of reason for me to go into much detail here. This is the air tool, it's got the polishing bit on the end. Just remember, operation, this pushes up, and then the handle pulls in. The difference of course this week is you're working on more resistant materials, so metal bar specifically. There's a box on the floor of all the offcuts and bits of metal. Make sure that you're clamping it in place. So there's a vise on the table, there are these right angle clamps, there are G clamps as well. There's an extractor unit over here that will remain on throughout the session. And this is a specific type of extraction, it will extract fumes from metal. So rather than the rest of the extraction, which tends to be for dust generated by wood and plastics. So just keep that over the table. You'll get slight sparks from this, but it's nothing that's going to cause any damage. It's not going to set anything on fire. I'm going to do this in the air, which is something you should never do, but just so that you can all see. Metal bar, air tool. And you'll find that it'll just take off the top layer so it'll shine the metal. Most often what we'd use this for around here would be for taking down welds. So once you've welded a couple of bits of metal together, you end up with a big slug, big chunky little weld that you have to take down. This is ideal for doing it with.
Only difference with this, because you're working with materials that are a bit more resistant, we need to screw this down to the table so it doesn't fold around. So what we'll do, a couple of screws through it and into the tabletop. Now, a few people struggle with the drills in the first session just because they've used them but haven't done this before, or with these materials. A little tip for getting them going: put them against the wood and just give them some sharp blasts like that. Don't go full on the trigger, just little blasts with it until it grips into the wood. And once you've felt the screws gripped and got hold of it, then you can screw it fully. So instead of trying to do it straight off and it's slipping out your hand and cutting your hand, just little pulses on the trigger until you feel it's gripped. They also do need you to put a bit of pressure on this. It won't just do it itself. And if you find that it's doing this, I can't even do it with that. It's like that when you hear it doing that, it means you're not pushing enough. So once you've got it started, you can put your hand on the top and do it. When you want to take it out, that switch there, that little black switch, that'll put it into reverse. So then you can unscrew it. So backwards and forwards. And if you need to change this for a drill bit for something like this, they've all got chuckless ends on, but you don't need a key or anything. You just turn the end and it opens up the three pincers. Inside there's like these three pincers with claws, and they'll grab whatever you put in them. So to put something like this in, set it so the hole's very similar size to that, and then put it in and just do a final twist and tighten it up, and then that's good to go. It's quite easy to change them. They've got 3 speeds on as well, so when you use the screwdriver, just keep it on number 1. You don't need it to be going fast. If we were using drills, we might want to increase it. Speed 3 to get through the material. It depends on what you're working on, but we'll be around to help you do that. So on this, I'll put the driver back in, tighten that off, and that's good to go then. So when you do this, screw it down, but make sure you screw it down on the side that's at the edge of the table. So if we're fixing that one down, we screw it there, and then only work here. What we're doing at this table is we're going to get probably some OSB, so this sort of material, and just work with that. Use the sanders to try and get it as smooth as you can, because most of the time, what you would use these for are finishing off jobs when you've built something and you want to get it really nice and smooth. So you can varnish it or something, you'd be using these to do that. So that's what we'll use here, just some sheets of OSB screwed down, and see how much you can almost polish the wood up.
It's used for drilling holes, and the advantage with it is of course that it will drill precisely at 90 degrees. So if you've got a very specific hole that you need to make in a bit of material, this is your guy. Equally, if you've got loads and loads of drilling to do, if you're trying to drill 1,000 holes in something, this can save you a bit of time as well. So things to point out, safety features, make sure you've got goggles on. There are a pair of ear defenders here if you want them. That tends to be more so if you're drilling 1,000 holes, you might overthink your ears. For 1 or 2 holes in a bit of timber, it's probably not necessary today. That's your emergency stop on the front, so if you come over and the machine's not working, it's the type that twists to release. So that needs to be out before the machine will switch on. And then, for those of you who can't see, there's a green and a red button on this side. Green for go, red for stop. Depending on the kind of bit that we put in there, you can drill into wood, metal, plastic, depending on the bit. This has got a wood bit in it at the moment. We're going to drill into a piece of plywood. You see that the bed is made of timber also, so that's so that when you go through the material, you will end up drilling a slight bit into the bed, which is fine. The thing to try to do before you start is to set the height of the bed so that you're only drilling into it ever so slightly. Yeah, we don't want great big holes going right through the bed, particularly because right underneath is cast iron, so you'll damage it. So the first thing to do is to set the bed. So you'll find there's 2 handles at the back. This one to the right from the front will release the bed, so it can be rotated left to right, or it can be wound up and down using the second handle, which is to the left looking from the front. What you're trying to do is get it at a particular height so that when we bring the bit down, we know it's going to go through the material that we're trying to drill. And it's only going to go slightly into that bed. So we know we can keep taking that down. Okay. So that's going to go through the timber, but not through. It's going to go, half a centimetre into the bed. Once you're happy with the height of the bed for this particular bit of material, just place it centrally and lock it off again at the back. Just check that. Okay. Then we've got these 2 clamps. Again, it depends on the material, but with this piece, they're not going to get in the way of the bit. We can clamp from either side and just place them over the material, out of the way of the bit, and tighten them over. Again, just a little check to make sure the material's not going to move. The bed's not going to move. The emergency stop is out, goggles are on, probably ready to go. The last thing to point out, 2 things. If you want to change the bit, there's a chuck key on a little shelf. Okay? Take the guard off the front. You see there's a little hole in the side of the chuck that fits into. Turn it to your left. And that will open the aperture in the chuck so that the drill bit will slide out. We can then change that over. So you place a new one in, chuck key back in, and turn it over to the right. Again, just check that that's nice and secure. And then always make sure that that guard has been clicked back across before you start. So everything's secure, stop is out, goggles are on. In terms of operation, once the bit is moving, you've got this handle on the right hand side. Good practice is to take it from here and turn it over in one motion. So rather than bit by bit, there's more of a risk that you'll miss one of the handles, and that will do that. Okay? Slight risk it's going to catch somebody in the chops or something like that. So grab it from here and just bring it all the way down in one motion, make the hole, and all the way up. Okay?
It's almost like you're doing it on purpose.
I know.
And then we can stop it there.